The rumors of Travis Hunter joining the Kansas City Chiefs have sent shockwaves through the entire NFL world. Even before any official deal is signed, fan forums and sports talk shows are buzzing nonstop. Just imagine it, the most explosive two-way college football star teaming up with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's offensive mastermind system. The offense was already deadly, but now with Hunter's potential on both sides of the ball, defensive coordinators are already losing sleep. Chiefs fans are packing Arrowhead Stadium like the Lombardi Trophy is being lifted tonight, waving red and gold flags in pure excitement. Adding Hunter to the Mahomes-Kelce duo is like inserting a cheat code into the league. Need a deep threat? He's got it. Need a clutch defensive play? He's got that too. And the craziest part? He's only 22. His ceiling? Practically limitless. Some sports bets say NFL analysts are saying this move will reshape the league. Rival defensive coaches still searching for answers. Hunter's athleticism and football IQ fit the Chiefs system so perfectly that Vegas odds have already shifted. Some sportsbooks are placing Kansas City as the Super Bowl LIX favorite before a single down is played. Even inside the locker room, the energy is off the charts. Kelce says, when this kid steps on the field, you can feel the electricity. While Mahomes added, getting a weapon like Travis changes everything. He's going to flip the game. In short, Travis Hunter's potential move to the Chiefs isn't just a headline, it's a dynasty-defining moment. And if this deal goes through, calling them championship favorites might just be an understatement. Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up. The 2025 season is about to make history. The Chiefs ranked 27th in the league in explosive plays per dropback, managing to gain more than 15 yards only 6.2% of the time. That's not championship caliber production, especially for a team with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. The only teams worse in that category? The Browns, Giants, Patriots, Dolphins, and Bears, all of whom were watching the playoffs from their couches. The numbers get more alarming. Just 6.7 yards per attempt, firmly in the league's lower tier. Only 42 passing plays of 20-plus yards, sixth worst in the NFL. And only 4 passing plays of 40-plus yards, tied for second worst in the entire league. Their longest pass of the season, a modest 54 yards, third worst league-wide. Stats like that don't win rings. They get coordinators fired and postseason dreams shattered. But here's why Rashee Rice changes the equation entirely. This young phenom has a rare blend of explosiveness, precision, and football IQ. He can turn a 5-yard slant into a 50-yard sprint. He separates deep downfield. He improvises when plays break down, and that is exactly the kind of player Kansas City was sorely missing last season. The chemistry he shares with Mahomes, it was already forming in those first 4 games before the injury. Timing, trust, rhythm, all showing flashes of something truly special. And while Mahomes has elevated many receivers, Rice is one of the few with the talent to elevate Mahomes right back. That kind of mutual synergy is how you build dynasties, break records, and win Super Bowls. See, when you're the Kansas City Chiefs and you've scaled the NFL summit multiple times, every decision is scrutinized under a microscope, like an insect pinned in a lab. Every draft pick, every free agent signing, every trade. It all matters because the margin for error narrows to razor-thin levels when you're trying to sustain greatness. And that's precisely where we find ourselves today, discussing a move that could define the next decade of Chiefs football. The 2025 NFL Draft came and went, and while most fans were laser-focused on the flashy top picks, something intriguing was brewing down at pick number 32. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pick 32? That's just the last pick of the first round. What's the big deal? Let me tell you, that mindset is exactly why so many people miss the forest for the trees when it comes to constructing championship rosters. True dynasties aren't built on just the top 5 picks that everybody obsesses over on social media. They're forged in the fire of identifying hidden gems where others see risk, spotting raw talent where others see question marks, and having the guts to make bold decisions when the stakes are sky high. And that's precisely what Kansas City did when they stepped up to the podium and announced their selection. The name that echoed through the draft was Josh Simmons, an offensive tackle from Ohio State University. Now, before you roll your eyes and mutter, another offensive lineman, how thrilling, let me break down why this pick could either be the steal of the draft or the haunting misstep that shadows this franchise for years. First off, let's talk about what Ohio State has been producing lately in the trenches. We're talking about a veritable factory of NFL-ready talent. These aren't just big bodies filling space. They're polished, technically sound, fundamentally disciplined players who grasp the intricacies of pass protection and run blocking at the elite level. When you see that Ohio State logo next to a lineman's name, you'd better sit up straight. History shows that Columbus knows how to mold linemen into pros. But here's where it gets truly fascinating, and I need you all to lock in, because this is critical to understanding the gravity of this pick. Josh Simmons wasn't supposed to be on the board at pick 32. Hell, most draft experts graded him as a top 10 talent. Some even put him in the top 5. So what went wrong? How did a player with that kind of pedigree slip all the way to the tail end of the first round? The answer is one word that strikes terror into the hearts of general managers, coaches, and fans alike: injuries. Evaluating talent in the NFL isn't just about what a player can do when they're healthy. It's about projecting what they can contribute over the course of a grueling, punishing NFL career. And when you're a championship caliber team like Kansas City, every detail counts. Simmons had been battling injury concerns that caused scouts and front offices to pause. Questions that didn't necessarily take him off the board, but certainly forced teams to weigh the risk against the potential reward. And that's exactly the kind of high-stakes calculus that separates championship organizations from perennial underachievers. Now let's talk about Kansas City's specific situation, because context in the NFL is everything. The Chiefs have faced questions along their offensive line, particularly at the... Listen up, Chiefs Kingdom. Y'all think you know what's next for your beloved red and gold? Think again. This franchise just pulled a move that sent shockwaves through the entire NFL landscape. And I'm here to unpack exactly why this decision could propel Kansas City into an unstoppable dynasty or leave them vulnerable to a dramatic fall. Don't you dare scroll past this. Watch every second of this breakdown. Smash that like button, drop a W in the comments if you believe in the Chiefs, or an L if you've lost faith, and hit that subscribe button, because what I'm about to reveal will forever transform how you see this team's future. Despite his 2,651 career receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, Pitts has yet to reach his full potential. Falcons OC Zach Robinson admitted as much, questioning his consistency and detail. With his fifth-year option approaching, Atlanta risks losing him for nothing. For a team like Kansas City obsessed with speed, mismatches, and creative chaos, Pitts could be the perfect torchbearer. He can block, split out wide, and terrorize zones with Mahomes threading dimes. This isn't just about replacing Kelce, it's about extending the dynasty. At 24, Pitts has the upside. Paired with Mahomes' prime and Reid's genius, this could be a generational marriage. Patrick Mahomes was sacked 6 times, a brutal indictment of a line that buckled when it mattered most. That collapse didn't just end their dream of a historic three-peat, it sent the front office back to the drawing board. Last season, the offensive line conceded 41 sacks, placing them 16th in the NFL. Not catastrophic, but far from championship caliber when your franchise rides on the shoulders of football's ultimate talisman. Mahomes is the lifeblood of this dynasty. Keeping him upright isn't a priority, it's a mandate, so the Chiefs didn't tiptoe into free agency. They plunged in head first. Their marquee splash? A 2-year, $30 million 0 cents packed with more. On paper, it looked ambitious. In reality, fans are already experiencing buyer's remorse. Drafted in the 5th round in 2021 by San Francisco, Moore spent 4 seasons as a reserve, logging just 12 starts as a swing tackle. His 2024 cameo, 5 starts at left tackle, sparked just enough optimism to lure Kansas City into overpaying. Whether they unearthed an overlooked gem or hastily patched a chronic issue, shelling out $30 million 0 cents for a glorified backup raised eyebrows across the league. Then came the 2025 NFL Draft, where Kansas City doubled down by selecting Ohio State's Josh Simmons in the 1st round, their presumed long-term answer at left tackle. With Simmons recovering from a knee injury, Moore will man Mahomes' blindside to open the season. But once the rookie is cleared for action, Moore's starting gig and relevance could vanish overnight. If he falters, Moore could become the league's most expensive clipboard holder. His $11,200,000 0 cents cap hit this season swells to $18,700,000 0 cents in 2026. That's a steep tab for someone with just 5 quality starts on his resume. The contract offers an off-ramp. Cut him after 1 year, absorb $10,700,000 0 cents in dead cap and recoup $8 million. 0 cents. Not ideal, but far better than total disaster. The Chiefs rolled the dice that Moore's brief success hinted at hidden upside, not a fluke. But if Simmons proves the real deal, Kansas City may pull the plug on Moore's deal much sooner than expected. In today's NFL, protecting your quarterback is the gold standard, and this gamble could unravel under the weight of expectation. While the offensive line situation stirs anxiety, the front office hedged their bets by bringing back a familiar playmaker, Marquise Hollywood Brown. Despite last season's painful finale, the Chiefs' roster remains largely intact. Their offseason strategy prioritized continuity over overhaul, and one reunion in particular raised eyebrows. It's the beginning of something much deeper. What we're seeing now is about far more than football. It's about legacy, longevity, relationships, and decisions that keep grown men awake at night. The Kansas City Chiefs have been the gold standard of the NFL for nearly a decade, and one of the primary architects of that success, right alongside Patrick Mahomes, has been number 87, the heartbeat of their offense, the safety valve in every crisis. But when whispers start about retirement, when a legend begins to publicly float the idea of year-by-year thinking, that's when you know the foundation is beginning to tremble. Let me paint the full picture. This isn't just about a tight end nearing the end of his career. This is about the potential end of an era, one that redefined dominance in professional football. We're talking about a duo, Mahomes and Kelce, that has tortured defensive coordinators, rewritten record books, and shattered playoff expectations year after year. Now there's hesitation in the air. Now we're hearing words like final stretch, thinking about the future, 1 year at a time. And if you know the game the way I do, you know what that really means. The countdown has started. See, when a warrior like Travis Kelce, someone who's defined consistency, toughness, and postseason excellence, starts talking about the mental toll, that's not just idle speculation. That's the internal conversation beginning to spill into public view. Let's rewind the tape to that podcast interview, the one most fans dismissed as harmless banter. But I listened closer, and what I heard, it wasn't just a veteran giving a polished answer. It was a man staring down the final chapters of a Hall of Fame career, wondering how many more pages he truly wants to write. And that's why Chiefs fans should be concerned. Because this isn't just any player. This is Patrick Mahomes' most trusted weapon, his red zone assassin, his third down lifesaver. When the pressure is suffocating and the moment demands a play, Mahomes looks one way, toward 87. And Kelce delivers. Always has, until maybe now. Because here's the truth. Last season, the numbers told a different story. Production dipped, red zone dominance wasn't as automatic. Explosiveness wasn't quite the same. Was it age, offensive evolution, fatigue, or was it something deeper, like a man already mentally wrestling with what life after football might look like? Let's not forget, Father Time is undefeated. And while Kelce still has flashes of greatness, the question isn't, can he still play? It's, does he still want to? Because there's a brutal reality in this game. The hits feel heavier when you know the end is near. The mental weight becomes crushing. And suddenly, every yard you fight for becomes more expensive, more taxing. If Travis Kelce steps away soon, it reconfigures the entire Chiefs offense. For years, defenses have been forced to game plan around the Mahomes-Kelce connection. Double teams, bracket coverage, entire schemes designed to neutralize 87 over the middle. If that element disappears, defensive coordinators get aggressive, field compresses. Mahomes is forced to rely on unproven weapons in the biggest moments. It's not just a personnel shift, it's a seismic tactical shift. And it doesn't end there. There's also the contract situation, a variable every fan needs to factor in. When a player of Kelce's stature enters a contract year, it's never just about dollars. It's about what's left to prove, what matters most, and what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. Let me tell you something that gets lost in the noise. Championship windows are fragile. They don't slam shut all at once, they creak. They shift, and then, without warning, they're gone. The Chiefs' core, Mahomes, Kelce, Chris Jones, has carried this franchise to greatness. But believing it'll last forever? That's a mistake history has punished time and time again. Y'all better brace yourselves, because what I'm about to reveal is about to send seismic waves across the entire NFL landscape. This isn't your run-of-the-mill locker room chatter. This is high-stakes, championship-tier drama that's got me fired up and ready to break it all down for you. Watch this video till the very end. I'm dropping game-changing insight that every true Chiefs fan needs to hear. Drop a W in the comments if you're still riding with the Dynasty. Drop an L if you think the Chiefs are losing their grip. And don't forget to slam that subscribe button. It's about to get real. Now listen up, because what's unfolding in the NFL right now has more plot twist than a primetime thriller, and I'm here to dissect it layer by layer. I've been around this league long enough to recognize smoke from fire. And right now, there's some wild delusion coming out of Miami that's got the entire football world buzzing. Let me paint the picture. There's a certain wide receiver down in South Beach running his mouth like he's already locked in a Super Bowl ring for next season. And while I'll never knock a man for having confidence in this league, confidence is currency. There's a fine line between belief and straight-up fantasy, and what I heard this week had me questioning whether someone in Florida has been standing in the sun too long without a helmet. Let me remind y'all who we're talking about here. The Kansas City Chiefs. This isn't just some scrappy playoff team. This is the reigning empire, the gold standard, a franchise that's appeared in 3 straight Super Bowls, captured back-to-back titles, and redefined what it means to build a sustainable dynasty. They didn't luck into greatness, they engineered it through elite drafting, strategic acquisitions, and a culture rooted in grit, discipline, and execution. Since 2020, nobody, and I mean nobody, has touched the summit more than Kansas City. While other franchises talk a big game, the Chiefs play it and win it. They've weathered roster turnover, salary cap gymnastics, and the weight of massive expectations, and yet, when the lights shine brightest, they deliver. That's the DNA of champions, but apparently some folks have short-term memory loss when it comes to recognizing sustained greatness. See, this particular wide receiver used to catch passes from Patrick Mahomes, the very heart of this dynasty. He knows what excellence looks like. He knows what it's like to thrive in a culture of high standards and higher results. But now that he's wearing aqua and orange, he's out here talking like the Dolphins are the second coming of the 72 undefeated squad. Now again, belief in your squad is essential, but belief without substance, that's delusion wrapped in a podcast clip. Let me remind you, the Miami Dolphins haven't won a single playoff game since the year 2000. That's over 2 decades of postseason irrelevance. That's before smartphones, before Twitter, before half these players were even born. Now let's talk about Andy Reid's comments in that press conference. Those weren't just offhand remarks. They were a declaration of total warfare. When Reid challenges Mahomes to push the ball deep, he's not simply outlining a strategy. He's daring him to unleash the full might of the NFL's most gifted arm. We've seen Mahomes manage games, pick apart defenses underneath, and play it safe, but when he's locked in on hunting big plays, when he's determined to attack vertically and strike fear into secondaries, well, buckle up, because that's when dynasties are built and legends are forged. Defenses pay steep price for their coverage choices. That's when Mahomes becomes truly unstoppable. Let's rewind to 2022 for a moment. 5,250 yards through the air. Let that figure sink in for a second. That's not just leading the league, that's obliterating it. 435 completions, averaging over 300 yards per game, 41 touchdown passes, and hoisting the MVP trophy at season's end. But here's what makes this scenario even more electrifying. The arsenal he has now might be even deadlier than it was back then. The speed factor cannot be overstated. When Worthy is blazing past defensive backs like they're rooted to the ground, when Brown is stretching defenses vertically, when Rice is slicing through coverages like a hot knife through butter, and when Royals is making highlight reel plays that leave coaches speechless, you're looking at an offense that defenses simply cannot cover. They can't double team everybody. They can't bracket every route. And when Patrick Mahomes finds single coverage, game over. But speed alone without precision is just empty noise. What makes this Chiefs offense so lethal is the fusion of explosive capability with surgical execution. Mahomes isn't just launching deep balls and hoping for a miracle. He's placing passes exactly where they need to be, giving his receivers the perfect opportunity to make plays while keeping turnovers to a minimum. When Andy Reid talks about trusting his receivers downfield, he's talking about that rare synergy between quarterback brilliance and receiver skill that produces game-breaking plays at will. Let's not underestimate the psychological factor here either. Defenses remember 2022. They remember getting torched for big plays, watching Mahomes dissect them with both finesse and firepower. Now they're watching film of this off-season, seeing these receivers running past defenders in practice, witnessing Mahomes make throws that defy physics. That kind of legacy creates fear, and fear breeds mistakes. Defensive backs start playing on their heels. Safeties cheat over the top. Linebackers drop deeper than they should. And when that happens, the floodgates open for everything else. Don't overlook the offensive line upgrades either. When Mahomes has the time to scan the field, step into his throws, and operate without relentless pressure in his face, that's when the real magic happens. The synergy of a fortified front line and an arsenal of weapons creates a perfect storm that no defense is equipped to weather. But here's what really excites me, the motivation factor. Losing that Super Bowl wasn't just a disappointment, it was jet fuel. Champions don't stay on the mat, they get up swinging harder than ever before. Mahomes has been in the gym with a sense of purpose that goes far beyond staying in shape. Every throw in practice, every route in walkthroughs, every film session, it's all been building toward one singular mission: domination. The real question isn't whether the Chiefs can bounce back. The question is whether the rest of the NFL is ready for what's coming. Because when you've got a quarterback of Mahomes' caliber, a receiving core that can attack every level of the field, a head coach who's one of the greatest offensive masterminds in football history, and a locker room fueled by the bitter taste of defeat, you're not just looking at a good team, you're looking at a weapon of mass destruction. The Chiefs aren't just aiming to regain respect, they're coming for everything. The passing yards crown, the touchdown records, that elusive Super Bowl trophy, and most importantly, they're coming to make a statement that last season was a fluke, not a trend. What do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? Are you ready to watch this offense steamroll everything in its path? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you believe this team is about to unleash hell, and hit subscribe because you won't want to miss a single second of the destruction that's about to unfold. Investing in young talent is essential for sustained success, and by making room on the roster, the Chiefs are setting the stage for a new wave of playmakers to step up. It's a strategic approach that has paid off in the past, and there's every reason to believe it will continue to do so. Additionally, these moves are part of a broader plan to ensure long-term success. By making calculated roster decisions now, the Chiefs are positioning themselves to remain competitive for years to come. The team's ability to blend experience with fresh talent is what keeps them at the top of the league. The front office and coaching staff recognize that adaptability is key, and they are continuously refining the roster to meet the demands of an ever-evolving NFL landscape. Beyond just roster changes, the Chiefs are also focused on fine-tuning their game strategy. The coaching staff is constantly analyzing game film, identifying areas for improvement, and adjusting their playbook to stay ahead of the competition. Every offseason move is part of a grander vision to strengthen both the offense and defense, ensuring they remain a formidable contender. The team's long-term vision isn't just about keeping up with the rest of the league, it's about setting the standard that other franchises aspire to. Patrick Mahomes' latest moves. The second story is all about the man, the myth, the legend, Patrick Mahomes. Fresh off another Super Bowl victory, Mahomes has been making headlines for more than just his on-field heroics. Recently, Mahomes has been in the news for his involvement in a groundbreaking new business venture. According to ESPN, Mahomes has partnered with a major sports tech company to develop a new line of training equipment designed specifically for quarterbacks. This isn't just another endorsement deal. Mahomes is deeply involved in the development process, using his own experience and insights to create tools that could revolutionize how quarterbacks train and prepare for games. This venture is a testament to Mahomes' commitment to the game and his drive to push the sport forward. Patrick Mahomes, building a legacy on and off the field. In the development process, Mahomes has been using his own experience and insights to create tools that could revolutionize how quarterbacks train and prepare for games. This venture is a testament to Mahomes' commitment to the game and his desire to give back to the sport that has given him so much. The training equipment, which includes advanced throwing machines, virtual reality simulators, and biomechanical analysis tools, is designed to help quarterbacks at all levels improve their accuracy, decision-making, and overall performance. Mahomes has been hands-on in the design process, ensuring that the equipment addresses the specific challenges that quarterbacks face. In a recent press conference, Mahomes said, I want to help young players develop their skills and reach their full potential. This is my way of giving back to the game I love. It's clear that Mahomes is thinking about his legacy both on and off the field, and this new venture is just the latest example of how he is using his platform to make a difference. But it's not just about business for Mahomes. He's also been hard at work preparing for the upcoming NFL season. Despite the short offseason following the Chiefs' Super Bowl victory, Mahomes has been seen working out with his teammates, ensuring they're all on the same page heading into the new year. His dedication to his craft is unmatched, and it's one of the reasons why he's considered the best quarterback in the league. Mahomes has been focusing on refining his mechanics, studying film, and building chemistry with new additions to the Chiefs' offense. Brown entered 2024 as one of the league's premier vertical threats, but a preseason shoulder injury sidelined him until December, prompting many to assume the team would move on. Instead, Kansas City reunited with the speedster on a one-year, $7 million, 0 cents deal, and that decision is already bearing fruit. Mahomes is rekindling the chemistry that once made this duo electric. When you've already built a rapport with someone, you don't need a ramp-up, Mahomes shared at minicamp. Hollywood, Worthy, Rashid Juju, they're putting in the work. We revisit old plays, and that familiarity sharpens everything. Is the same rhythm Travis splutters and I thrive on. The message is clear. Chemistry creates efficiency. Last season's air attack sputtered. Mahomes posted his lowest passing yards, 3,928, YPA 6.8, and TDs 26 since becoming a starter in 2018. Injuries to Brown and Rice disrupted timing, reps, and momentum. Now with Brown healthy, that aerial engine is poised to roar back to life. In 2024, Brown was limited to just 9 receptions for 91 yards in the regular season and 5 more for 50 scoreless yards in the playoffs. Still, his career average of 11.6 yards per reception is a testament to the explosive threat he remains. He may not be Tyreek Hill, but Hollywood Brown still stretches defenses in ways that command attention. His vertical prowess opens the field for every weapon in Kansas City's arsenal and sets the stage for another relentless pursuit of the Lombardi Trophy. Thank you guys. See you next video.